So what is up, gang? I am back with another great relationship tip, and this one is not a reel because it's really hard to make it fit into just 90 seconds. So bear with me, give me maybe 2 minutes for this one. So what it is, what if your partner is doing something that drives you mad, that every time you try and talk about it, it just blows up into a row? Here, I'm going to give you the tips and the techniques that enable you to raise that without blowing up into a row. Interested? Exactly. So the first is you need to zoom out and set some context that makes the situation safe and is less likely to trigger the defense of the other person. So what I mean by that is, let me give you an example. The zoom out might be, listen, I know you're only trying to be playful, or listen, I know you're only joking, or listen, I know that we really love each other. Then you go on to say when you, and then you specify the impact. So listen, I know you're only being playful, but when you poke me like that, I don't know if you realise how much pain I've got in my body. And that actually triggers rage that makes me blow up at you. And that's why we then go and have that big row. Then you say what you want instead. And what I'd really love instead is actually to be playful with you. But I wonder, can you just be a bit gentle? Because I don't think you mean to hurt me at all. But honestly, I've just got so much pain in my body right now. What do you think? So those are the parts. Set the context. When you be specific about the behavior, explain the impact on you, particularly emotionally. Don't go into facts and figures. How do you feel? Then ask for what you want instead. And check in with them. You know, you're not just making a demand, check in. You know, what do you think? Is that possible? And I think the final piece of the technique is if you energetics play a role here. So obviously you have to manage a bit of your emotions so that you're not coming from a rah kind of angry place. And the same thing at the end, you know, you're not necessarily expecting to be conversing with Nelson Mandela here, who suddenly becomes very Zen mode because of how you've laid out the argument. But hopefully you're going to get a better reaction. And if you can just stay open, you stay flexible and non-triggered, then things are going to go a lot more smoothly. So I'd love to hear how you get on if you give this a go. Let me know in the comments.